What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened with the doc? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, okay. Hold on. It's just an extra column. Um, delete column. There we go. All fixed. I only saw up in the comments, Froggy's comment up in the thing, so I haven't really looked at the rest of the comments here. But hello, everybody. Hold on a second. Okay. The feed on my laptop was frozen there for a moment. So let's see. Y'all beat me on here. Um, yeah, I was trying to get everything done. Usually, well, the past couple times I've had my stuff for Friday night all done in advance, like last weekend, but that didn't happen. And this weekend, this whole week has been, yeah, it's been a nonsense week. Let's see. When I came back from my trip, so early April, with work, I got a new laptop. After so many years, you get a new laptop. So I get the new laptop. Then a couple of weeks ago, I want to say maybe 2.5 weeks ago, the laptop started acting crazy. So websites, like web browsers, they were acting glitchy. And especially like if you brought up YouTube, you'd see like all these like lines and all this weird stuff happening. And then things would become unresponsive. And my Outlook, I had to always close it and reopen it to see any of the new email that would come through. So yeah, a brand new laptop, and yeah, already messed up. So earlier this week, what was it, on Wednesday when I went into the office, I picked up the new one. Now the new one has Windows 11 already on it. Now they're looking to roll out Windows 11 for everybody else. So when I got my laptop, I got everything set up. I got the dual monitor thing set up. It was great. Then I did the Windows update on it. There was evidently an update for 11, just one of those regular updates, not a full going from 10 to 11. And I did that, and things were still working. The next morning when I went in, I couldn't get the two monitors to work at all. It's like, okay, I don't want to see things through my laptop. And so, yeah, evidently that update, it, yeah, it's kind of like on halt at the moment because, yeah, evidently it messes that particular thing up where, oh, hold on, did I get it? Bear with me. There was a bug, a natty bug. I don't like bugs, so I don't see it. So which means it's probably still flying around. So if you see me swat at something or try to kill it, I'm not going crazy. Oh, I did get it. I did get it. Hold on. Yeah, oh, now there's another one. Shoot. There's another one flying around here. Well, hopefully I get it because I can't stand those things. I may have to pull out my cat cheese and set them up. Yeah, it's probably about that time to do so. And it's gonna irritate me throughout the whole entire live, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, so between yesterday and today, I've been working on it. So, needless to say, as far as trying to get projects done, yeah, it basically became last minute on getting them done. So I just I did one of them last night, and then I did the other two today. So, yeah, nothing like last minute, right? And like I said, there's another gnat flying around here, and it needs to die. Okay, so there's Yvonne. So either Yvonne's still at home waiting on her hubby, or she's on her way. Right, Yvonne? Let's see. So Froggy's here, Sharon, um, Carol. Uh, yeah, Sharon, it's no biggie. There was an extra column added. I just removed it, so it's all good. Let's see. Yeah, she just inserted a column. That's all. It should be all fixed now. Okay, so Yvonne's on her way. Oh, there's somebody missing. Yeah, where's Terry? Terry never sent me a message. She didn't ask me if I was going live or not. So, okay, you go and text her. So everybody, I'm not going to do a whole lot of yapping in the very beginning. Housekeeping stuff, I'm going to go through that really, really quick. And here's why. So, tonight, it would be 7 p.m. Hold on. Pacific time? Yeah, Pacific time. My granddaughter is graduating, and they're going to, I think the school has a YouTube page, and I think they also got a website, and then they're also going to air it like on their local cable channel. There's like 500 graduating in her class. 500? When I graduated, we didn't even have 100. Maybe about 50, maybe 60, but nowhere near that amount. So since I can't be there, I do need to watch that. So that'll be at 9 o'clock my time. So we need to be done before 9 o'clock so then I can go and try and find it and put it on the big TV, or maybe I got to bring my laptop in there and hook it up to that. One of the two things, but I gotta, I can't be there in person. So of course I gotta watch it, and see it as it's happening. So with that, like I said, really the only thing that's been going on, me dealing with this whole work laptop thing. Um, how many? Hold on. What was that? Okay, this natty. Come on. Why I got natty bugs? Hey Terry. So what town is that, or what school? What is that? Is that a typo, Sharon? I mean, is that is looks close to Salem? But yeah, see, our school wasn't very, very big. I mean, when I went, it was you literally had kindergarten, elementary, and high school all in the same Sachem. Okay, Sachem. Um, and when my daughter graduated, they actually had built a bigger school. Yvonne, is that you knocking? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. There was knocking on my door. I thought maybe it was, yeah, no, evidently I walked over by the door and, yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't answer it because as I walked down the hall, because I'm thinking, first off, Yvonne, you wouldn't need to knock because you got the key. But no, one of the kids are out there and they're just knocking on doors. Okay. So I think, yeah, I didn't answer it. I didn't answer it. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip it. Terry, I don't know. I think you came in just a little, just after I mentioned it. My goal is I'm gonna be done in less than 2 hours because, again, why are we knocking on my door? Knocking on my door and then ringing the doorbell. Kids, you need to take your butts inside your apartment and stay there. Um, yeah, no, because the graduation ceremony for my granddaughter is going to be at 7 p.m. their time, and I want to watch it since I can't be there in person. I swear, this is why I can't wait till I'm in a house. Really, when this lease is up, I'm just done with this because evidently they let riffraff move in. I'm sorry, but that's just kind of like how I feel. So let me um let me kind of bring in the housekeeping stuff and we'll quickly go through that. So let me flip this around and then get it where we need it to be. Oops, wait a minute, why am I flipping it? It's already flipped. I think honestly, this is the second week now that I have done, what do you call it, the scheduling of the live, and it's actually worked. And I think, I've been so used to, then having to start early. I don't know. I'm just not used to things working right. It's been a while, but I think we're good, but just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, that's good for me. Good for me. Okay, so one of the things going on now that started on the 3rd is the buy one, get one 50% off on all the sweets and the sweet products. Now, last week, when I spoke about this, I don't know if I had this info, I may have, but maybe there's like there could be some like confusion with it. So if you purchase a whole suite, okay, so I'm going to use these as an example, okay. So the florals in bloom. So say, you're interested in this suite, haven't gotten it yet. Thank you, Sharon. Yes, please give it a thumbs up. Um, so say you didn't have this whole suite and you really like this suite, you want to get the whole thing. So when you go to place an order and you put in that suite number, okay, it comes up as 122.50. Now that's the retail price here in the United States. And say, okay, then there is this turtly cute suite collection that you also like, and you want to get this one. So this one costs $80.50. So when you put these two into your cart, what'll happen? The florals in bloom will be your full priced suite, and then you would get 50% off of the suite price on the turtly cute. So that would be 40.25. Now, the one thing, I did this. Some other demos kind of mentioned that they did this and suggested this. That if you were to say, if you were to take like two of these sweets and put it in your cart, And then say you go and you add um maybe like these embellishments from this suite, and maybe let's see, the designer series paper. What's going to happen, you're not going to get 50% off on the lower price suite. You're going to get half off of the lowest priced items. So you'd be paying the regular price for both of those suites, and then say the embellishments and this designer series paper would then be 50% off. So I did take advantage of this sale, and I literally ended up placing, I think, a total of like 5 orders. Now, 5 orders, 4 of them had 2 suites in it. So I currently will have all the suites that are available. Plus, I took advantage of the pre-order for the online exclusive. So with that one, I did get the suite that coordinates with the upcoming paper pumpkin kit. And there's a Halloween suite. I got that one. And I think there was another one. Yeah, I think there was another one. I can't remember offhand what it is, but some of the suites in here I didn't have, so I had gotten those. So when I placed the orders, I mean, 4 of them were 2 suites in that order. And then I ended up doing another one where it was just embellishments, basically things that were the last chance list. That stuff actually updated if you didn't notice. And one of the things that just kind of blew me away, let me see if I can bring this in without knocking everything over. But you see these colors here, um, these in colors that carried over, and this basic beige ribbon, all of this is now on the last chance list. Some of them are marked down, some aren't. And a couple of them were on low inventory. So, oh, well, happy birthday to Joe. Um, so I wanted to get another roll of these colors. What else was on there? Yeah, another thing. Now let me point this one out, okay? So this black and very vanilla large check ribbon. So this is on the last chance list now. Now on this, okay, I went and added well, actually it's marked down. I believe it's marked down to like 560, I think. So I went and I added 2 of these to that order. Well, get this. I paid 560 for one of them. And then because this ribbon was part of a suite collection that was in not this past holiday mini, but I think the one before, the second one was half off, so I paid like 2 something for it. So even if it's something that is going into the last chance, if that product was part of a suite, that will also apply to this with the buy one get one half off, and it's off on the sale price, not the regular price. Because I was wondering, something didn't make sense, and then I had to really think about it, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that was part of a suite. But yeah, so now we won't have any black and white or black and very vanilla checked ribbons. So if that's a ribbon that you really like, I haven't checked what the inventory status shows on it. But if you like that checked ribbon, get some of that ribbon before it's gone. And then there's a few other things that are going that I'm kind of surprised. So there's that bundle. Is it um all around or something? That's the one that's got those wonky like circle dies. That bundle, that's going away. Yeah, there's a few things that I was kind of surprised that it's already going away, and it seems like it just came in. And then in the kids collection, you know how we had the set of the four little frames, and there was the one that had the plants, and then the other one had like those landscapes. The ones with the landscapes are also going away as well. So, yeah, check out the last chance list. And then I had also had watched Barb's live last night, and it turns out that some of those items that are already that have been in the last chance list, some of those things have been marked down a little bit more. So if there's something out there that you like, take advantage of it while you can get it less. And again, if it's something that was part of a suite, well, that's going to be 50%. That'll be 50% off when when you buy something else that's all that was also in a suite as well. So I just wanted to make mention of that, just in case if you added like a bunch of sweets into an order and then you ordered like some embellishments and stuff. It's going to be the lower priced items are what's going to be half off, if those items were part of a suite. So the best way to really take advantage of getting 50% off of a suite, yeah, that's why I end up placing multiple orders for that. So that's currently going on, and that'll go through June 30th. My understanding is that they still have kits for this virtual album retreat. These, I believe, started to go on sale, I think, this past Tuesday, I think. So there's really no registration for this event. Basically, when you purchase the whole kit, which is $250 in the US, then you will get an email, and there's going to be a private Facebook group that you'll be part of, and that's where they're going to be doing the live presentations, and it'll happen July 16th through the 18th. And each day they're going to go from 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., and that's in Mountain Time. So with this, you're going to get everything to do. Let's see, you're doing a 12 spread album, so you're doing 24 pages. You're going to get all of the pre-cut cardstock and the paper, and there's going to be a bunch of die cuts, and there's actually four different what do you call it, photopolymer stamp sets that are going to be part of this. And this is just a sampling of what those projects are going to look like. So the only thing you get the sleeve protectors. The only thing you're not getting in this kit is the actual album itself. So if you're a scrapbooker and this sounds like something that you may be interested in, I did not link this into the description of the video because sometimes if I put too many characters, then I have to eliminate stuff. And I added info about this. So if you go to the Stampin' Up website, you will see this on the home page, and you can click on it. You'll get more information on it. But again, the event itself, there's not a registration fee. It's when you purchase this whole album kit that's basically your registration. When you buy the kit, you'll get an email and hi Deborah, and yeah, and you can partake in that. And again, if you're not able to be there when they do this, you will be able to go back and watch the replay. Now the thing is that I'm kind of hoping is that they at some point take the videos that they do on Facebook and they move it over to YouTube. And then, those people that participated in it would have the access to it, because after a while, Facebook is going to remove the videos. because I ended up getting an email state from Facebook saying, well, if I have any videos on any of my Facebook pages, what they do is after a certain amount of time, now they're going to delete them. So if people want to be able to access this, they got to find a way to where people can access it, you know, well, much later on. Also, this is the June paper pumpkin kit full of charm. It coordinates with that floral charm sweet collection, which was part of the pre-order. So this will be available in July. So the designer series paper, I kind of seen what it looks like. Lots of floral images, and yeah, so I do have that and have that coming, so I'll show that when that time comes. And then there's also the coordinating add-on dies that go with the April, May, and June kits. Um, the item number is 166238. These are $12 in the US. And again, you don't need the dies to complete the projects in the kit. They just coordinate, to where if you want to do like some alternative projects. And then again, I made mention that the last chance product list has been updated. More things were added, and some of those things that have been out there, some of those items were also marked down even further. So the link to the last chance is in the description. So if you click on that, you'll see what's out there. Okay, so let's get going. The projects that I have are pretty kind of, I would say, kind of simple. The majority, basically the colors that we have in these projects, there's 4 different colors, right? Black, white, darling duckling, real red, and basic black. Or did I say basic black? Yeah. So the not a whole lot of different colors, and for some reason I did this, and I don't know why. I end up thinking of McDonald's because it's a lot of red and yellow in all of these projects. Okay, so let me bring these pieces in. Now a lot of this, again, I did some pre-die cutting, and that way it's a little bit makes it go a little bit quicker. Okay, so let me bring in some scrap paper because I'm going to need that. And I didn't get the PDF done for this yet. It's something that I'll work on this weekend because I kind of ran out of time. So I should have that out there on Sunday. So again, that last little paragraph in the description right above supplies has the link to the Google Drive. Now, can I ask a question? Have any of you like clicked on that link to see the PDFs? I asked because I know that if I click on it, I know that I already have access to it. I can see it, but I never know if anybody has ever gone out there to access it and, like save any of them. And it worked okay, Deborah? There were no issues with it? That's the one thing I just want to make sure. I don't want to direct people that, yeah, you can go there and you can download it for free, and then there's like something wrong with it where you're not able to. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah, so the PDF will be out there. It works now. I have done it before. Okay. All right. That's all I need to know. I just want to make sure everything works. I don't want to tell people to, well, you can go here and go do this, and then, there's a problem with it. Okay. But yeah, so on Sunday, I think that's when I'll finish working on it. The pictures and all that were taken. I just have to do the dimensions and the instructions in it, and then it'll be done. Let's see. So right now I have like the Word document that I have copied and pasted with all the dimensions, just so I know what they are, because again, I don't have that PDF thing printed out. Okay, so the card base, basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of Darling Duckling. This measures 5.25 by 4. Real red, 5 by 3 3/4. And then I have a piece of basic white. This is 4 3/4 by 3.5. Ahead of time, what I did was I just drew this pencil line halfway across my piece of cardstock. I am going to do some stamping up on the top here, and then on the bottom I'm going to be using my dark Real Red Stampin' Blend, just kind of like what I did on that one live where I kind of created my own designer series paper. I'm going to kind of do that on this bottom half of the cardstock. Then I have a piece of Real Red. This is 5.5 by 1/4 inch. And then added some scraps of Real Red and basic white. I used the Stylish Shapes circles to die cut those. Then let me show you what we're using. Maybe I should just show you what I'm using first, right? The Poppin' by bundle. So you have your dies that'll die cut your stamped images, and then there's some little detailed ones here. Now these pieces right here, they're not going to cut like an image out. It's just going to add like these little slits to add some dimension into those into the popcorn. And then you got like your little film strip, you got some glasses, and then there's these little shoes too for your thing of popcorn. So ahead of time, I had stamped both of these in Real Red and Darling Duckling. Now, of course, we don't want red popcorn, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to fussy cut, get rid of that, and then glue that on top of this piece. So then we have our popcorn and then our red and white container. And then add a basic black. There's the pair of glasses and then a pair of shoes. So we're gonna make our little popcorn thing look kind of cute. Okay, so let's fold and burnish this. So this card does have quite a few layers to it. Usually I don't do so many layers on a card, but it just, to tie all those colors in. Okay, so then I'm going to take my Real Red, and I may have to get another thing of seal refill for this because I don't know if I'm going to get through this whole live with what I got left on there. So we'll center that, and then we'll set that aside, and then let's kind of put our little guide together here. So let me get my water out of the way so I don't spill it. All right, so let's see, we need our snips. Again, this is pretty easy to cut because you know how I feel about fussy cutting. But we want the yellow buttered popcorn. We don't want red popcorn. Yeah, it is cute. Now the one thing with our popcorn bucket here, I don't want him to have red eyes. So what I'm going to do, the black Stampin' Right marker, you can get these individually. I am going to just go over the red, do his eye, and then even though I'm putting shoes on him, this part of his leg, I want to add the black. Okay, and then let's get the glue. Okay, and then line up just like so. So next, well, Sunday next week, it's Father's Day. So, what is it? Next Thursday for my Throwback Thursday, I'll be doing the Burger Bistro. I never used that when it was available in the last annual catalog. So I'm going to be using that one. And then for my Friday Night Live, since it's still available, I'm going to be using the Trusty Tools bundle. And since I do have the designer series paper that was available, I think, was it 2 years ago for Celebration, I'm going to use that as well. So what I'm going to do, the glasses and the shoes, I'm going to use my glue dots for those. So cute. Now now these shoes are really, really tiny, so okay. Yeah, I don't want the glue dot. Okay, and then the other one. Yeah, see, when it comes to Father's Day, I don't have my dad anymore. So I typically, when it comes to Father's Day cards, uh, I make one and I send it to my friend. Yeah, he's a dad, so, and he appreciates the cards that I send him. He actually he saves those cards that I make him. Okay, whoops, got some of that glue dot on there, but isn't that cute? All right, so I'm going to take some of my dimensionals, and I'm also going to use some little tiny ones here for, this will be one way to kind of have that extra thing to hold those shoes on his legs. So put that there. Put some, I don't know how I did it, but somehow I bruised my pinky finger. I don't know how I did it, but I managed somehow. Okay, so we'll put him aside. And then let me get, where's the stamp set? So even though this is a cling stamp set, stamping, you know, like any words or greetings in a circle is not too bad, because of course you can turn your circle around, you know, so that way it's straight. And then I'm going to stamp that in black ink. So really the only three colors of ink that I'm using are the black, Real Red, and Darling Duckling. Okay, so let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat. Again, makes it easier for me to see the actual die cut since it's white. And we'll ink this up. Stamp it right in the middle. And we'll set that aside to let that dry before I adhere it to this Real Red circle. What I am going to do, now it's getting kind of warm, so let me put my hair up in a clip really quick. Okay, Froggy. Hey, Don. You must be here. If Don is saying hi, he must be parked, so I'm guessing she must be here. Okay, so on this piece, so what do I want to do first? I I think I'm going to bring in my stamp. So I'm going to do this one popcorn. Instead of doing the multiples, I'm just going to use that one. And I want to bring in my removable label. I can't talk. Post-it removable labeling tape. Yeah, I tell you that you turn the camera on and words become hard. Okay, so this line that I drew, this thin piece of this real red cardstock is going to go right over that. What I'm going to do after I do my stamping on the top here, I'm going to use my marker and I'm going to add some lines on the bottom part here. So that way I don't get none of my popcorn showing in that area where the red will be. I'm going to use that Post-it tape. And let me get my darling Duckling ink. Now, one of the things, even though I've already done this a few times, and I've had my ink pad upside down, I'm going to come in, because even though I removed some of the excess ink on this, it just seems that it's still really inky. And I can see that I end up scraping this pad a little too hard with the edge of the spoon. So at some point I may have to go and replace it. I did that, I think. Which one did I? Oh, I did that to pecan pie. Because what happens, there's so much ink, and sometimes I can scrape, and I literally end up scooping up a whole bunch of ink on my spoon, and sometimes I think I get a little too aggressive. But it's still going to work. So let me do that. Okay, now let's see how. Okay, it looks better, because when I did this, for some reason it comes out looking a little blotchy, which tells me it's still a little too much ink. All right, so we'll start adding. And I'm not worried that it's not completely covering it, because that strip is going to cover that up. Okay, put that aside. All right, and then we will remove this. Okay, and then let me take, just so this way I don't end up with any excess ink getting on my hands. Okay, then I want to turn it around. I'm going to cover up what I just stamped. And then I'm going to use the bullet tip on this marker. Now this is a new one. I think it was the dark real red that the this whole piece here comes off. Now I'm just going to add some lines, and I'm not worried about if they're straight, if they're uneven. It, like we say, it's handmade, it's not Hallmark. Because we do have that this 6x6 designer series paper, but the designs on there are really not what I want to use. And the thing is, there's no designer series paper that just has like a thin striped red to it. And I was even looking at any of the stamp sets that are still current that I have, that I could have used. So this is The only way I can think of to do it. Okay. Yeah, this is the one-time consuming thing on this card. Okay. So then we'll remove this. Okay, and like I said, this area right here is going to be covered up with that strip. So now let me get rid of this. Okay. Then I'm going to add some glue to the back of this. Now I did cut this longer, and then I'm going to trim. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my glue over that, and then I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet and add that. Look straight. Okay. And then I'll set that aside for a moment, and then I'm going to bring in the stamped stitch circle, and we'll center that like so. Okay, close up the glue, and then on the back of this I'll add some dimensionals. Okay, so what's next? I want to bring in my little guillotine paper trimmer, and I'll bring this down some, and then I just butt this edge of the cardstock on there and trim it, and then it's perfect. Okay, so then I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this. That's the one that's messed up. Okay, I'm thinking that's the card base. It's not the card base. Okay, so we'll center that. And then center this on there. So again, a lot of layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Okay. Then I'm going to take this Enjoy, and we'll put that right in the center. The card straight. Like so, and then we'll add our little popcorn dude. Is Don still on here? I don't know if you are. I don't know if Yvonne told you, but I made more of the ice cream base, and I did do some coffee ice cream. So You'll have some coffee ice cream. Oh wait, we're not done yet. I need to embellish this thing. We need embellishments. Okay. Oh, she's in the store. Okay, so these are the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. We had used this when we did that suite that I showed you just a little bit in the catalog. Is it Forever Blooms or something? We're going to use these Darling Duckling ones. So add a little bit more of the yellow. And then in these, there's 3 different sizes, so I'm going to use one of each. Okay, now the card is done. So there's the first card. Okay, so now let me get the stuff for our second card. Okay, again, lots of yellow, red, and white on this one as well. So let me bring those in. Okay, so for my card base, I have a piece of Darling Duckling, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now I have 2 pieces of basic white. One is just a little bit bigger than the other. This piece here, let me make sure. Well, I'm pretty sure it's this one. Okay, so this piece of basic white is 4 1/4 by 3. And then I have cut 5 out of real red. These are about a little more than 4 1/4 because I'll trim it down by 1/4 inch. And just like we took the marker and we created the red stripes to create our paper, we're going to use these cardstock strips to kind of add it to our piece of basic white. Then there is another piece of basic white that'll be on our card front. This one measures 4 by 3 1/4. And then I have a piece of real red that's 5.5 by 1. Then a piece of basic white that is 5.5 by 3/4. And ahead of time, I stamped in the tuxedo black, popping in to say hello. And then I went ahead and stamped my little popcorn. Okie dokie, be safe. I had stamped one in the Darling Duckling, one in the Real Red. This one I already had. I actually fussy cut this. I didn't cut it out of the die. It's going to sit on top of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these feet off of this one. So let me bring these in. Do that. Okay, and the other thing too I'm going to do on this, just like I did on the other one, bring in that basic black Stampin' Right marker, and we'll give him black eyes instead of red eyes. Okay, so let's take our card base and we'll fold and burnish that. Okay, and we're going to stamp on this too. So let me bring in this scrap paper. And this time, instead of just using the one, what do you call it, popcorn, we're going to use all 3 of them. And let me get it. Let's see, we need the bigger box. Okay. Then I want the word pop. We're going to stamp that too. All right. So now let me get my darling Duckling ink. And we're going to stamp a few of these on the back of our, see, sometimes it's like it's a little blotchy, the ink. Let's see, 2, 3 of those. Let's see, where do I want to put this one? Right there. And then we got this little guy. Okay, so that's the background. So we'll put that aside. And then let me make sure I grab the right one here. So what did I say? This 4 4 1/4 and the 4. So I want to make sure I grab the right one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So on this one, we're going to stamp our popcorn again. And we can add one there. I'll just part of one. And we'll have him peeking in from the top there. Okay. So that's good. And then we're going to bring in the black. Again, the tuxedo black that I used the re-inker to ink up the white uninked pad. And then the pop, I'm going to randomly kind of like stamp these in between. Let's see where else. Over here. And we'll add another one right there. Because this part right here is going to get covered up, so I'm not going to be so concerned about putting and stamping another one right there. Okay, so now we are at the stamping part is done. So now let's do a little bit of assembling here. Okay, so then on this piece, I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. And let's see. Add a little bit. I'm going to start off on these outer edges. And I'm going to work my way in towards the middle. Do want them kind of straight though. Okay. Right. Another one. I'm trying not to go too far past the strip. When you don't have red and white striped designer series paper, you just make your own. I swear though, when I was putting these projects together and I'm using these colors, it's like I felt like I was at McDonald's. And if you know me, I don't eat at McDonald's. Okay, so we have all our strips on there. And so I'm going to kind of press some of this glue off of those ends. I'm going to let this dry a little bit before I go and I trim that off. And then I'm going to take my popcorn guy. And I'll glue that on top. Okay. And then he will have some dimensionals on the back of him. And so if you were with me, what was it, last Friday? You know how I was mentioning that, you know, there were kids that were actually back here outside my window. Yeah, come to find out that I don't, you know, I have a hard time saying parent because, you know, most parents wouldn't let their kids, you know, out running around, but evidently, they go and they sit out in their car, out in the parking lot, and yet evidently the kids are left in the apartment, and evidently they're running out, running around while they're sitting in the car. I'll tell you. I mean, there's no way that I did that stuff, and certainly didn't let my daughter do it either. Okay, so there is our greeting piece. And I think we got everything ready to be assembled. So let me close up this glue. Come on. And then what did I want? Oh, I want my trimmer. I had to think for a minute. There was something that I needed. What did I need? Okay, so just like I did on the other piece, I'm going to bring the arm down a little bit. And then I'm going to butt that right up along the edge. And then trim. This piece didn't come off. Doesn't want to come off. So let's do this. Okay, so then we'll trim it like that. What are we doing on time? Now we're in 4 minutes. Not doing too bad. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece here, add some adhesive, and then this is going to be lined up. See right here. Make sure it's lined up. I need to trim just a little bit. Okay. All right, and then this piece here that we stamped. Get these out of the way. Okay. And this will go right there. And then we'll get some, we'll use the liquid glue for this part. Andrea! So I did let everybody know, Andrea, and was it last Friday, that you will be a guest stamper on Saturday, June 28th. And I think, what is it? Is it 5 o'clock or 5:30 that you decided that you wanted to do it? Okay, and then let's take our little pumpkin popcorn dude, and we'll place him right over here. And then for the embellishments on this one, I'm going to bring in those embellishments that I used last Friday, the neutral matte dots. And I'm going to use 2 of these larger black ones. And I'm going to place that on either side of the greeting, like so. Okay, so there is the second card. So I did not opt in to bringing in the Wink of Stella for these cards, because I know if I use it, it would just pull up the ink. So there is the second card. So does anybody feel like they're in the mood for popcorn? I was kind of getting that feeling as I was putting these cards together today. Okay, so our third one, there's a little more die cuts that I did for this one. And make sure I got everything for this. Okay. So for my card base, I have Real Red 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is something that we also used last Friday. This is the Botanical Textures Designer Series paper. Of course, it's not the one that's got all the leaves and stuff on it. This measures 5.5. Wait a minute. It's not 5.5. It's five. Hold on a second. It's 5 1/4. Let me fix this really quick. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, I just want, it's a good thing I didn't do the PDF, or I would have had to fix that. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. I have a piece of Real Red that measures 4 by 2 1/8. And then out of a scrap piece of basic white, I use the Spotlight on Nature dies. And then again, I had stamped 2 of the popcorn dudes, one in the Real Red and one in Darling Duckling. And again, we'll fussy cut the top of this, and we'll glue this on top of that one ahead of time. These 2 little pumpkin, not, why do I keep saying pumpkin? It's popcorn, not pumpkin. So those detail dies that do those little slits, I stamped the images. Now you can do where you die cut and you do that that little detail die at the same time, but for some reason my die wanted to shift a little bit. So I did the little detail part first, and then I die cut them. So I just did the 2 of them. Then added some basic black. Now with this, if you want to make this, I did not put any of the adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock before I cut it out. The sample card I managed to get by with using the liquid glue, and I didn't make a mess. So I had die cut 3 of these. And then all 3, between the popcorn dude and then those 2 popcorn guys, they're going to all have glasses. And again, that's die cut out of basic black. All right, so let's get that all out of the way. And we'll fold and burnish that. Yvonne's here. Okay, and then let me get my designer series paper. Oh, not yet. I did this again. I almost did it again. So this is the Darling Duckling faux linen ribbon. We're going to use some of this. Okay. So I want to put a little bit of adhesive on the center just to kind of hold that down. Do I got it on the right side? Yeah. Come on. Okay. Press that down. Fold this over. Okay, let's make sure that we're straight. Okay, and now I'll trim it. Now I'm going to add a bow to this, and I tried it one way where after I put this on, I took another piece and I tucked it under, and I was going to tie it. The one thing that I find with this ribbon when it comes to tying a bow with it, the ribbon is a little stiff, so it makes your bow a little bit bulky like. So, but if I just tie a bow and then glue it down, it wasn't too bad. Okay, so we have that, and then I'll tie a bow. Ooh. I just saw Froggy's comment. Okay, so we have our bow. And let's see. We'll trim it like so. So we'll put that aside. It is nice ribbon though. We had used the Secret C one when we did that big floral suite. Okay, I haven't used any of the other colors yet, so it's just two that I've used. All right, so we have that. Let me get my scratch paper here. And on this piece of real red, let me clean my stamp. Want the pop. Okay, and I want my real red ink. Okay, and then we're going to randomly stamp pop. Now, I'm not going to worry so much about the middle. And the reason why is that this die cut is going to sit on top of this, so you're really not going to see anything underneath it. So I'm just going to add a few here, what may actually like stick out. Okay. And then we'll set that aside. And then there's another greeting in here that says, was it, no one's better than you. So we're going to take that one, get a block, and make sure I got it the right way. Okay. And then I'll bring my piece in. You got to mute it. Yeah, Vaughn's in there and she's listening. Yeah, she's gotta mute me, or you kind of hear kind of like this echo or feedback. So, all right. So out of the black, I'm gonna ink this up. I'm gonna stamp this up right in this corner. Well, there's no corner on a circle, so but I do want it up to the one side. Okay, and then that's all we need as far as stamping goes. So now let's get our card put together. All right, so on my piece of real red, I want my dimensionals. We're doing good on time. About an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see. Got that. So I don't know if we have anybody new here or not. There is a link pinned up at the top of the chat box if you would like to be in the drawing for one of tonight's cards. If you have any problems adding your name, just say something in the chat and someone will be able to help out and get your name added to that. All right, so then this is going to go right on top like so. So right in the middle of this, I'm going to add some seal to this. And we'll place and make sure my card's straight. And we'll put that right there. Let's get our glue dots. Oh, they're not in there. Actually, let me do, yeah, well, no, I could do this part. So again, on my bows, I'll put a glue dot on either side of the knot, so that way my bow will stay. And I'll place that right there on the side. So it looks like I just wrapped that ribbon around and then tied a bow with all one piece, but it was too bulky, the knot part, so this was a little bit easier. All right, so then these little film strips, I am just going to tap this glue on there. Because again, I don't need a whole lot. I just need enough to hold this thing down. And again, you can use, what do you call it, the adhesive sheets on this. You would just want to put that on the back of the cardstock before you die cut it. So we're going to add one right here. Okay, and then let's see. Get another one. It's a tiny piece. Okay. And one will go right down here. And then our last one. I thought we were going to get some storms today, but we didn't get anything. Not even a drop of rain. They say that we're supposed to be getting rain tomorrow. Can somebody please add Deborah to the spreadsheet? Oh, okay. All right. Or you can always come down here and you can sit and you can hear what I'm saying. Okay. What's next? Let's get our little popcorn dude. And we'll trim this top part. Okay. And then on this one, let me get this scrap paper really quick. Again, we don't want to have red feet or red legs. So I'm going to bring in my black marker. This time he's not going to have any shoes on, so. Okay. And let's see our glue. Get this. Line that all up. Okay. So we have that, and let's take one of the pairs of glasses. Again, we're going to use our glue dots for these. These glasses on them. Okay, and some dimensionals. Okay. And then put him right there. And then our other two got little pieces of popcorn. Put glasses on them too. Okay. Okay, and then these guys are going to get some dimensionals on them. So we'll add two. And this guy. All right, so this one's going to go right here. Let's see, this is the bottom. Then this one will go right up there. And for one more embellishment on here, I'm going to bring in, these are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. These are still available. These are not, I did check ahead of time. These are not on the last chance list. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these larger basic gray ones. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to take two of the smaller smoky slate. And we'll add one there. And then one right up there. Okay, so there is the third card. The glasses just do it, I'll tell you. So there's our second card. Okay, so let me bring in all of the cards. An hour and 26 minutes. Didn't do too bad. So let me so as I'm tidying up just a little bit here, so I have some room to bring in my laptop. Again, if you're on here, you haven't said anything, which is okay. That's okay. But if you would like to be in the drawing, do add your name to the spreadsheet that I have the link for pinned up at the top of the chat box. And if you have any issues, please say something. Someone can help out and get you added onto that. And as soon as I kind of make some room here, I will add all those names to my wheel of names, and I'll bring in my laptop and we'll do the drawing for one of the three cards. Okay. I know, Yvonne. Remember, we got to be done. We got to be done before 9 because I want to see the graduation. I mean, Nana should technically be there. Okay, which way does this one go? Goes this way. See, they do have a YouTube channel, but there has not been anything on there like since like I think for 2 years. So they had like other past graduations on there. I just want to make sure that they're going to have it on there again. If they don't, then I have to bring in my laptop, hook that up to the TV, and do it that way. Okay, so there is our first card that we did. So this is just simple. We made our own designer series paper with the stamping and using our Stampin' Blend Real Red marker to add some stripes. And then our second card, we got lots of popcorn stamped on there. And then we got our cute little guy right there popping in to say hello. And then our third card, all our cool little dudes with the glasses on. So really like how that one came out as well. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Let me kind of close this out now. Oh, we do want to save that because I did fix that. And let me make this bigger. And let's see who we got on here. So there's Froggy, Sharon, Carol, Tracy, Terry, Yvonne, and Deborah. Is that everybody? Is Andrea still here? Looks like it's been a little bit since she commented. Okay. Oops. I think Andrea left us. Okay, so let me take the names. Let me add them to the wheel. Okay, let me just slide these up out of the way. And let me grab my little thing with all my little post-it notes. And then let's bring in the laptop. Whoops, I'm pulling my light. Hold on a second. Kind of shifted it, and let me move these out of the way because we know the glare isn't good. All right, so let me take a quick peek up here in the chat box. Okay. Oh, look, everybody's already choosing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get this going. All right. Tracy. Okay, let me bring 3, 2, and 1. So which one would you like, Tracy? Oh, that's so funny. There you go, Tracy. You got the second one. Okay, so now let's go back. Spin again. Whew, feeling a little warm. Terry. Three. Okay. Okay, and then our first one here. Let's go back over here. Sharon. Okay, so there you go, Sharon. You got card number 1. And let me kind of move these out of the way. Let me take this and we'll kind of clear this out. And let me bring this back and take this out of the way, and then we'll kind of finish up here. We did good, 1 hour and 34 minutes, so we kept it under 2 hours. Woo! It's a goal. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are new here or you're watching the replay, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that little notification bell. It'll let you know when I post a pre-recorded video. And when I go live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my pre-records, I do a Throwback Thursday where I pull in some retired product. That's pre-recorded. And then I also do a monthly Christmas card inspiration at, okay, hold on. Let me do, while I'm seeing it. And so I don't forget, I see your comment there, Terry. And Yeah, I'll probably end up bawling my eyes out because, she's not so little anymore. Okay, I took care. Okay, so I've taken care of that, Terry. So, yeah, so if you hit that little notification bell, you'll know when I got a new video posted or when I go live. Let's see. Again, we got that sale going on. In the link, there's a link to my newsletter. I just sent one out earlier this week. If you would like to be on it, just click on that link and put in your name and email address, and I will send this one out to you. And I typically only send like one a month, unless Stampin' Up! Has a sale that comes up in the middle of the month because they don't usually give us a heads up on it. Also, the coming up soon. I'll talk about that later on as we get a little bit closer, because it's going to be almost time for the new holiday mini and the whole catalog ordering period thing that they put out there. So, with that, I think that's all I have, everybody. So, um, I made it just in time, so that way I have plenty of time to get that ceremony brought up on the big TV in there. And thank you so much, everyone. And you have a wonderful and safe weekend. And be blessed. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye bye.